Hi, everyone. Dawn Fisher of Morning Glory Needleworks. Welcome to my 59th FlossTube video. Yay. As always, thank you to everybody who subscribed, commented, liked my channel. And as always, all links are going to be listed in the description below the video. Plus, I break my videos into chapters. So if there's just a certain section you want to watch again, you click on the timestamp and it will take you directly to that video or that part of the video. So I will have at least one link in there. Also, there's links to the Morning Glory Needleworks Etsy shop, which is back open again after being shut down for a couple weeks while I was not really on vacation, but the shop was closed. To Morning Glory Needleworks Instagram, Stitch of the Month, Facebook group, Morning Glory Needleworks Facebook group, Buy Me a Coffee, in case you want to try and support me a little, bio link, no pressure, bio link, which has links to everything and others. So it's the 1st of June, 2024. And it's been a couple of crazy weeks. And as you may have noticed, my background is different. Yes, I am in my new office stitching room. I love it. The light, you can see it's really bright in here. I have these wonderful windows. They go, that's a door over there, storage door. And then there's big windows here. So the room is really wide. It's not quite as deep, I don't think, as my other office I had. It's like 9 foot wide and 20 some feet long. I don't know. But I know I have a large IKEA corner desk and it fits perfect in that corner. And I will have a view out the window and I'm so excited. I have my cubes here. I have a couple more around this room. It's very big. But it does have a really big opening on the other side. It used to have sliders. This used to be what they call a Florida room or just a sunroom, and was not air conditioned. Well, sometime in the past, they did put a vent in for air conditioning, thank goodness, because it gets warm in here anyway. And then there's the big opening. They took the sliders out. And then there's also a door with that for storage. They left me all sorts of brooms and mops and things, yay. And it has a water heater, and then there's a door on the other side to the AC where I can change the filter and stuff. And then there's actually windows into, kind of strange, but like I said, this used to be a Florida room, so it's windows into the main bedroom, my bedroom, and the bathroom, the main bathroom. They're the main bedroom bathroom. The ensuite, which is a little teeny tiny, but that's okay. So anyway, it's really nice. This is the first video I've done in here, obviously. You can't see it, but the rest of the room is still full of boxes and stuff. Obviously, my things are empty. I haven't hung anything up. All my cubes are empty. I'm still working on unpacking and trying to find things, which is why usually this is posted at midnight on June 1st. Well, it's not midnight, let me tell you that. But because I was busy trying to find everything, even though I put it in marked boxes, it's still challenging. Yeah, a few things got like stuffed in boxes as the movers were taking stuff out. So I didn't necessarily get them marked correctly. The moving is done, but it's still, I mean, everything's here, but it is like everywhere. And I've had a lot of other stuff going on, so and unpacking is hard. So not as hard as packing, but it's still trying to figure out where everything's going to go. So what you have to remember is I went from a 1,300 square foot, 3-bedroom house. Well, one room was, my office, with a garage to an 835 square foot condo with no garage. I do have a assigned parking spot, and I believe I have not visited it yet, but there is a storage room somewhere on this floor. I'm on the 3rd floor, which is really nice. I'm up away from everything. I still hear noise, but it's not bad. And you only have a little teeny area. They said it was something like 2 feet by 3 feet. That's like one crate. So I haven't even visited it yet. I did find the laundry room because I unfortunately do not have laundry in here, and the trash room, because the best thing is I don't have to haul my garbage can out to the road anymore. They have a room and you just take all your trash and leave it there. So anyway, so I can take it whenever I want. But so the movers were great, but they were fast. I mean, it still took like 7 hours between getting everything out of the house and the garage. And I actually had to go back later and get more stuff several times. Unfortunately, I did have to leave some stuff, which I'd planned on. Most of it I'd planned on leaving. Some of it I didn't, but whatever. It is what it is. And this moving company also took my big pieces of furniture that I didn't want here, that I was ready to give away, and they have a consignment shop, so they're gonna sell them for me, and I get some of it. I don't know what. I don't care. I was gonna give it away. I just wanted it out of the house. And they also took, there was a lot of music equipment out in the garage, the big speakers and things like that were Jeffrey's. And they took that. They know people that buy that type of equipment. So they took that, and they're also going to sell that for me. So again, that's another big thing off my shoulders. So anyway, they were unloading really fast. So there was 3 guys, which was great. One guy was taking stuff out of the truck. The other guys were loading it up on carts and things and bringing it up here. And oh my God, there was just boxes everywhere. And mostly they were pretty good. I mean, pretty much all the office stuff and sewing stuff ended up in here, and a little bit of kitchen stuff. But some stuff is still, I don't know. It's probably in the spare bedroom, which ended up with most of the boxes. But unfortunately, the things I can't find, I would really like my silverware. I packed those in smaller boxes because it gets heavy. So I packed it in a couple small boxes, wrote silverware on it. I had another box for all my knives and everything that was in the knife area and things like that. And I don't know where those are. It took me a day or two, but I found me and Mama Kitty, I found our meds because they were packed in a box marked meds, and one was marked kitchen meds. I had them in 2 different boxes. Anyway, I still can't find the other box, but I did find our meds. So we're back on our meds. So we're good. Let's see what else. And I can't find my coffee maker. So I'm kind of lost. I've been either going out for coffee, or I bought some of those iced coffees, in the bottle. And I can drink one of those in the morning. I don't have to have coffee, but I like having coffee. So anyway, there's a lot of stuff in the spare bedroom. Remember, I had unloaded a storage unit. So all the boxes from that were put in there. I thought I was going to do really good because I brought a lot of stuff over like the day after I closed on the condo. A lot of my stitching stuff, a lot of my antique samplers, because I was leery about, those guys. They were really good. They were really good at moving everything. I mean, one guy was pretty young. He was probably in his 20s, and the other 2, I don't know, but they've been doing moving for 20 to 30 years. So they were not in their 20s. My stitching stuff is kind of behind everything else in the spare bedroom, the 2nd bedroom. So that's something I have to do yet, is go carefully dig that stuff out because I don't want to like trip and fall over anything. So I don't have my stitching stuff, which is kind of driving me crazy. I have a new little project I bought that I want to work on. It's for the house. It's a little project for the house, but I don't know where. I did find some threads, but I don't know where my linen and stuff is probably in one of these boxes around here. So I will get to it, but it just takes forever and I can only do so much without like going crazy. But it took a few days. To get my cable hooked up and my internet. So I was really going crazy because I didn't have my laptop. I mean, I had my laptop, but with no internet, there's not a lot you can do. Anyway, the TV, the nice thing is about the condo here is my monthly fees include like water, sewer, trash, which I was paying about $100 a month for all that. And cable, which again, there's another, $100 or so a month for that. And it comes with 2 cable boxes. So I'm actually going to have a TV here in my office. I figured if they're going to give me 2 cable boxes, I'm taking one. So I don't watch TV in the bedroom. So I thought, well, I'll put it in here and I can have it on while I'm working and doing things in here. And then I have, the one in the living room. So anyway, the poor guy was here forever, getting all that hooked up. And of course, everything he needed was behind boxes. I thought I had got him room to get in here, but then the boxes weren't in front of stuff. Anyway, other than that, I'm here. I'm happy, very happy here. Also, my cats have settled in. They're doing really well. They spend most of their time in the bedroom. I don't know why, but they did that before too. So I did buy them a new cat tree and they're still kind of, I'll lay on the bed. So Elphaba and Mama Kitty, my 2 little girls, I mean, by the first night, they were out. They were coming out, looking around. I did not bring them until after the movers had been here. I went home that night because I was going to start staying here and rounded them up. It took 2 trips. So I, grabbed Mama and Elphaba and brought them over. And then I had to grab Bustifer, who was I was leaving. I left one of the beds there. And of course, he was under that bed and I had to get out the vacuum to get him from under the bed. Anyway, but so he was pretty traumatized by the time I got him here. So it took him a couple of days before he came out. I was actually kind of worried that maybe, I don't know where he had disappeared because I hadn't seen him for like a whole day. So I got the kitty treats out and he finally stuck his head out from under the bed and ate the treats and then went back under. But then he did come out after that. Now he's out and wandering around and they come out and eat and they're pretty good. He's still a little jumpy because I'm on the 3rd floor, but it's like it's outside. It's not an inside hallway and stuff. So there's like a walkway in front of all the condos and I'm way down at the end. And so when people walk by, he and runs away because he's a scaredy cat. Anyway, one thing I did do, I bought so much stuff just because even though I had all this furniture, you always need something. So I did buy, this was my splurge. I got an automatic litter box and I highly recommend them. At least the one I got, it's Nia Casa or something. If you're interested, let me know. It was not cheap, but Amazon had $100 off coupon. So, and it's, oh my God, no scooping. It's so nice. It's got like a thing and it dumps everything. And then there's you don't have to do anything. You just, when the poop bin or whatever it is full, there's a bag in there and you pull the bag closed and then pull the drawer out and there it goes out the thing. So anyway, that's what I've been doing, going crazy, and I need to find my stitching. That's the biggest thing for me. So anyway, back to well, it's kind of still moving, but I know you guys probably, I don't know, if you're sick of listening about moving, you can move on. But Some of the stuff I found is kind of fun. So I found a few things when I was moving, things I thought had been lost in all the last few moves I've done. So I was very excited. I found a box of old pictures. The oldest are from the 70s. I don't know if there's any before that or not, but this box anyway, most are from the 70s and on, but they're pictures, so they're old, that. So I wanted to show a couple just because I have them. Now, when I was in high school, between my junior and senior year, I was in a student exchange, and I got to go to Japan and live with a family. And I spent 2 months there living with this family. And at that time, my sister, Diana, my oldest sister, was actually living in Japan and teaching English. Now, she lived there for a couple of years. And so the thing with Japan is, I was in Tokyo, or where was I at? Ginzu. No. I can't remember the name of the town I was in, but it was like a suburb of Tokyo. So, but there's trains. You just take the trains everywhere. And my sister only lived like 2 train stops down from where I was. So that was nice that I was close to where she was. So I did get to spend some time with her, and her and I went and did a few things together, but most of the time was spent with the family. But anyway, I've just pulled out a couple of pictures just so you could see. You see that's me in a kimono this is the fancy kimono that they were, all these layers and things that they had to wrap around you. Oh my goodness, look how skinny I was. And then this is, I did get to travel. Now, the family I stayed with they had money, so I got to go, we traveled around a lot. This is Osaka Castle. This is me, the tall one on the end. And then this is, I think it was the Golden Palace. It's called something like that. I was trying to get it more in focus. These aren't the best, but it was fun to me to see this stuff. And you want to see how skinny I was back then. This is me, senior prom. I made that dress myself. It was actually a halter top and a bottom. And my boyfriend at that time, I was so skinny. And there we are. We're so cute. Yes. And then here I am in my gown, my cap and gown for graduation. I'll skip through these quickly. And here I am again, little skinny me. And this is my mom. I don't know who that is behind. I think this is my brother here, but I don't know. That's probably a relative because this was at my graduation party. So grandparents, aunts, uncles, cousins were all there. And there is me and my sister Leah here, messing with the punch. So anyway, that was just a few pictures. I won't go through anymore because there's like hundreds of them. So another fun thing I found was, now I started stitching in 1980 and I got married the next year. And so that's how long I've been stitching. And I started doing samplers maybe 2 or 3 years after that. And I was very lucky that Eileen Bennett of the Sampler House actually lived like in the next town over. And I think I took one of her first classes she ever taught. And the pattern, I believe, is still available. Home is where you hang your needlework, and I still have it, but I don't know where it's at right at this minute. It's probably in a box in the other room. But I did find it when I was in the other house. But I found this. My mom and dad actually owned a quilt shop for a while. Actually, for a long time, a quilt store, and they sold cross stitch supplies. So I stitched this in 1985. I mean, how country is this? This is just basic cross stitch. And actually this, I don't know what I was doing. This is more like a Congress cloth than an actual linen, because it's very stiff. So anyway, but this is, I just thought that, and that was my name at that time, Urton. And I obviously went back to my maiden name when we got divorced in 2000. And then I also did not change my name when Jeffrey and I got married because it's my name. So anyway, so that was one thing I found. And then I did the pictures. And then this stuff is actually from, I have it on the shelf back here. This is from when my husband and I had an antique store. And this was one of the items we had for sale in our store. Isn't this wonderful? Oh, you can see the reflection of everything. All these wonderful mother of pearl buttons and different fancy schmancy buttons. I just love this, and I have it for sale. And oh, and on the back it has the information on the woman's funeral that made this. There's some other stuff here, but I can't read what it says. It's kind of handwritten on the back. But anyway, I love buttons. And I picked this up at an antique show or flea market somewhere. So I just wanted to share it because it's a really cool item. And I don't know, I may keep different stuff here. It was for sale. I may sell it when I go to EGA National in Atlanta, but we'll see. And this is kind of a sad little sampler. I may take it out of the frame because obviously it's in a regular picture frame and it's in bad shape. It's so cool because, oh my goodness, you got the reflections there because it's brown, but you can't, you're trying to get the colors. The colors are beautiful. You can't really see them here, darn it. Yeah, it's so dark, but this has got like beautiful teals and other things. I can't really make out what it says. With all thy soul, love God above and as something. The sad thing about this is I bought this from a guy in an antique store. I think it was, I don't know if it, I was thinking it was from his family. It was an antique mall. But somebody, you can see this is brown linen, but there was some holes and they actually painted it. So this is like these blobs here. It's hard to see. They are paint on the linen, but it's so pretty. The colors are so pretty. And like I said, I got it very reasonably priced because of the condition. And I'm thinking about taking it out of the frame because there may be more to it. And I'd like to, I think they just stuck it in this frame to get rid of it. And it's just sad because of the brown paint, the things people do. I mean, I would have rather had the holes than the brown paint. So they were probably thinking it was going to make it look better. But it does have beautiful colors. It's got this deep teal and then a lighter blue. So it's a really pretty, other than the brown paint on it, stacking that on top of a box I still have sitting there. And then one other thing, one other one I wanted to show. This is a really cool sampler. It's very plain, but the reflection again is really bad here. I may have to work on that. It's very tiny. I don't know if you can see if I can move that up. No, it's getting so many reflections here. That's a bad thing about the glass. But you can see how tiny this is. I don't have the count on this linen, but it's got to be in the 70, at least 70. And this was stitched by Frances Ann Gray, August 4th, 1814. So this is called at the top, it says The Life of the Happy Man. So of course I did some research because this is a whole what you would call, it's not really a poem, but it's a whole verse or whatever that was stitched. And I did some research. This was stitched in 1814. And this, The Life of the Happy Man, was written by Lachlan Mackenzie. Needless to say, he's from Scotland. And he was born in 1754 and died in 1819. Now, when I did my research online, I got this information from the Covenant of Grace website, which I put a link in there, and that's the only link I have this time, so you can see what this says. So what they had on the Covenant of Grace website, it says Lachlan Mackenzie was one of those servants of Christ who was greatly used by the Spirit of God in revival times. From his base in Loch Carron, he became widely renowned for the fervor, love, and power with which he preached and the gospel to the poor in the Scottish Highlands. And the fruit of his work was lasting. Now that's a direct quote. So like I said, I provided a link, and it does have all the words to this. Francis's version is a little different. Some of the words have changed, and who knows, when he preached it, he may have changed it up. It may have been written up different in different books. I'm not sure where she got it from, but I can read a little bit of it to you. So it says, the happy man was born in the city of regeneration in the parish of the repentance unto life, was educated at the school of obedience, and now lives in the plain of perseverance. Sorry, that went to the next line. I wondered about that. He works at the trade of diligence. Notwithstanding, he has a large estate in the country of Christian contentment. And it goes on. That was just like the first little paragraph here. So it goes on and on and on. So it's a really beautiful piece. Like I said, very plain. Again, it was stitched by Frances Ann Gray. It has a date August 4th, 1814. Again, I had this for sale. I may keep it just because it's cool. And it's conservation mounted because it's it's deep. You can see how deep it is. So this is not touching the glass. I don't know how it is mounted on the board here. There are some repairs here in the center where they actually just kind of darned over top of it back and forth with a piece of thread, probably silk thread, but I don't know where my linen tester is, so I can measure this. But maybe next time for the next video, maybe I'll have the count on this fabric, but I know it's really tiny because it looks like muslin. It's so fine. It's very hard to even see the threads to count it. So that will be challenging. So those were the things I wanted to share this time. Don't fall. My stack of boxes over there. So now, because it is the first of the month, and I planned on doing a different stitch that was a little more challenging, but hey, I'm lucky I got done what I got done. So this stitch is Jessica's stitch. This is a fun stitch. It's done in different sizes. I have done it over an area 6 by 6. So here is, again, these will be available in the Stitch of the Month Facebook group as a PDF to download. And here's the band with the Jessica stitch. I did it in what color? It's the yellow, the sulky yellow. It's hard to see, but it's got a really nice, maybe I'll put it on the camera. It's got a really nice variegation, very subtle, but it's so pretty. So I'll probably show you that so it's closer. But this is, here are the instructions. Now, what I've done, because there's a lot of steps, it's not near as confusing as it looks, but here's like the first group of stitches. Then you go here and go around this corner, and this is the completed stitch. So I broke it down into 3 separate sets of instructions, but you'll end up with 1 stitch that looks like this. Now, what I did is I did a row of them across, and they touch. I thought about leaving a space, but it didn't fit in there right. So they actually touch and share holes. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to bring up my PowerPoint as usual. I'm trying to get back into my usual thing here. Bring up the PowerPoint. I'll make this big so you can see it. I'll talk about it, and then I'll demonstrate the stitch. Hopefully everything's working. So you hold on and let me bring this up, and I'll be right back. Okay, so here we are with the Jessica stitch. Now the yellow row across the top, I know it looks really confusing. It looks almost like a kaleidoscope thing, but that is the stitches, and there's 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. I think there's 8 across the row. I think that you'll end up with 8 stitches. So again, this stitch is 6 threads wide and 6 threads high. And once you get the rhythm, I mean, after I did the first one, I never had to really look at the instructions again, and unless sometimes you get a little confused. But anyway, so you come up at 1 and you count 6 threads to the right, and then you go up 2 threads and go down for 2. Now with this stitch, what you have to remember, the easiest way for me anyway to remember, is every step is 2 threads away from another step. It's either 2 threads up, 2 threads to the right, 2 threads down, whatever. It's always 2 threads away. So we did the 1, 2, which is over 6 threads, and 2 threads up. And then you come up at 3, which is 2 threads to the right of 1, and go down at 4, which is 2 threads above step 2. Then you come up at 5, which is 2 threads to the right of 3, go down at 6, which is 2 threads above 4. Now that is the total height of the stitch. Then you come up at 7, which is 2 threads to the right of 5, and go down at 8, which is 2 threads to the left of 6. And you're just going to continue around that way. And every step, if you look at the final stitch at the end, every step shares a hole with another stitch. So every hole that you've gone in and out of will have 2 steps in that hole. So that's what you have to remember also, is every step shares a hole. Now I'm going to go over this when I demonstrate, but what I didn't think about when I wrote the instructions, when I went to stitch it, because they're touching, you should come up in step, which is step 7/24, the last stitch. You should come up in that hole to start your next stitch. Well, you've just gone down in that hole, so you can't come back up in that hole. So in the instructions, I've given you 2 different ways to get around this. What I did the first time on the first stitch I did is I actually went to the back. I went down at 24. I went to the back and caught some threads in the back, and then you can come back over and come back in that same hole with 24. But after that, what I did is I started reversing the 23, 24 stitch. So when you go down at 22, you move 2 threads to the right. I know it's not the same rhythm, but it is what it is. So you go 2 threads to the right and come up in that bottom right hole, which is actually step 24. And then I went down at 23. So it's kind of reversed. And then you can come back up in the same hole as the step 24. And you're not going to, your thread won't come back out again. So I'm going to demonstrate that and I'll talk about it as I work on that. So hold on, let me bring up my camera and I'll do that for you. Okay, so here we, so got my thread here. There we go. Actually, I'm gonna go over a couple more. So I'm coming up at what would be step 1. And then I'm counting over 6 threads to the right, 2, 4, 6, and then up 2. So that is step 1, 2. Now your next step, this is 3, is going to be 2 threads to the right of 1. So 3, and then you're going to go down at 4, which is 2 threads above 2. So you can kind of see how this is going to work. So here's 5, 2 threads to the right of 3, and then 6 is 2 threads above step 4. So now we've reached the bottom. That's the top right corner. This is the bottom right corner. So you're going to come up at 7 and go down at 8, which is 2 threads to the left of 6. Now we're going to start sharing holes. So you're going to come up at step 2, and this is step 9. So 9 is sharing holes with 2, and go down 2 threads to the left of 8 for step 10. Now we're going into the second diagram. So you're going to come up, or the center section of the diagram. So this is step 11, which shares a hole with step 4. And then you're going to go down 2 threads to the left, and that's step 2. And now we've reached our far edge. So that's 11, 12. So now 13 is going to share holes with 6 and go down 2 threads. This is 14. Go down 2 threads below. This is going to share holes again. Go down 2 threads below. Now it looks like we're getting to the end, but we actually have quite a few steps to go yet. So this is step 17, 18. Now we're going to come up here and share holes in the corner with step 12. That's 19, 20. You see there's no actual horizontal or vertical lines. They're all diagonals. So that was step 19, 20. So for 21, we're going to come up 2 threads below 19 and go down in the same hole as step 5. That's step 22. Now this is the one, normally you would come up here in step 16. This is step 23. If you were just doing individual ones, or also what you can do is do each one in a different color, which I think would be really pretty. I did them all in the same color. So normally that's a completed stitch, but you can't come up at 1 here because you're going to undo your last stitch. So like I said, you can either go on the back, do that stitch, go on the back and like catch a couple stitches and then come up. But what I decided to do, and I have this written in the instructions, I decided to do my 23, 24 backwards. So I'm going to come up in this hole and go down here. Whoops. So there's your completed stitch. And then to work your next stitch, because they all share holes, you're going to come up in this same hole as step 24 and count 2, 4, 6 and up 2, and then start your next stitch. And whoops, you just have to remember to always move 2 threads. I mean, I had to take a couple of steps out just as you're, because you're not paying attention and you may go only 1 thread over. Like I said, once you get the rhythm, and remember 2 threads over, either up, down, left, right, whatever. Oops, catching the edge of my thing here. I was just so glad I found everything because some stuff, I tried to pack everything together and some stuff just ended up in separate boxes. I hate moving so much, but I do it. I've done it a lot of times, but you know what? This is kind of it. This is my, of course, I said that about the house, but I couldn't do it without Jeffrey. So anyway, I'm okay. I'm good in this. Condo's good. So I'm just working my way around. See, once you get the rhythm. Oops. And then again, this is the last step. So I would come over here and go down into this hole, and then you can start your next stitch. So there you go. There's the Jessica stitch. I want to show you on my sampler. Let's see, let me see if I can zoom in some. But you can see the thread, how it kind of changes color. It's very subtle. It's the I think it's buttercream. It's 4002, sulky 4002, which is they call them blendables. They're usually called over dyed or variegated. They sulky calls them blendables. So it's a really, really pretty stitch. So again, there you go. That's that. Let me pause this for a minute and then I will come right back. So that's it for FlossTube 59. Thank you for listening to my moving woes and excitement and all that good stuff, but I'm very happy where I'm at. Hopefully I can get back to work and start getting stuff done here. My the Morning Glory Needleworks Etsy shop is back open again, and I have made a couple sales, so thank you. Luckily they were downloadable, so I don't have to try and find my patterns. I know where they are. I just have to get to them. Anyway, so as always, thank you to everybody who subscribed. I've got a few new subscribers. I really appreciate it. Thank you to everybody who comments on my videos. I love to read the comments and I try to answer back as soon as possible. Be sure to subscribe so you can be notified when the next video is posted. And don't forget to share your photos if you're doing a Stitch of the Month sampler, or if you use one of the stitches in something else, share your picture in the Stitch of the Month Facebook group. There's also a Stitch a Day Facebook group, and let me know what stitches, if there's any you would like to learn. And I don't have access all my antique sewing items. I actually have sold quite a few, but a lot of them are in boxes right now. So, but if there's anything you'd like to hear about, let me know. I actually just bought some today on somebody on Facebook was selling some cute little items that I didn't have, so I had to buy them. So, and as a reminder, all the links are posted under the YouTube in the description comments section, and so links to everything. Anyway, oh, I did it. I found all my stuff and got my first video done in my new, yay, my new sewing office stitch room, whatever this is. Wonderful room that I have. So I will see you on the 15th of June. Thank you again.